The celestial tubes, as they're referred to, some people call them air channels and tubes, out of the Great Pyramid. These are absolutely amazing. The celestial tubes, as you refer to them, I mean, and it's proper for you because other people have referred to them as tubes. There are tubes and channels, so to speak, from virtually all the spaces within the Great Pyramid, the main spaces that we know of today. And I say the ones we know of today because my book, I reveal precisely how to find the other chambers that exist. Precisely, I tell you precisely where they are, where they will be found, and how they will be found. But the chambers, like say the Queen's Chamber and the King's Chamber, actually have tunnels that go out of the structure, out of the space, to the external part of the structure. And there's so much illusion, deception, and potentially fraud. We were able to flesh out the concepts that have become universal. Test them. We test accurate theory and say, can this be? Can you use these chambers for celestial observation? And we determine can it or cannot happen, and then we say, we determine the truth and say, okay. And we show you that much of what we need to know was documented 150 years ago, but has failed to be properly presented and shared to mankind. There are good mechanical designs and drawings before we started hypothesizing and running rampant with our ideas. The interesting thing about it, as you say, they're referred to by many as celestial chambers. What the celestial observatory. What I found interesting is the drawings from Edgar and Smith from the 1850s indicate that every one of these chambers, tunnels, tubes, are bent. Not a single one is straight. And as I looked at that, I came to the realization that anyone in the world that's less than 150 years old who says these are for celestial observation, looking at stars or planets, is either deceiving you on purpose because they're dishonest, or they're deceiving you because they didn't do their research. What I show you, and maybe we can show it here with the screen behind me, is that from the 1850s we've known that these channels, say like in the King's Chamber, the King's Chamber is approximately 17 feet wide, 34 feet long, and 19 feet high. The celestial tubes are about 3 feet or waist high from the floor, which, unless they built this for midgets, there's no reason for them to be 3 feet off the floor to observe celestial observations. What they don't tell us, and the drawings from the 1850s tell us, and we know this, anyone that's been to the structure knows, that the holes are about 3 feet off the deck. They go horizontal. Therefore, there's nothing out there to look at. For about 4 to 6 feet through the first layer of rock, they make a 90-degree turn, and then they continue to make as many as 4 turns exiting out the structure. So if it goes out here, it exits there. There is no way in the world to observe anything celestial through any of those tubes or chambers. We've been deceived. What we had the pleasure to do, I happen to have one of my primary degrees is in marine transportation nautical science. I study celestial navigation. So I take a practical celestial look at them. And then we bring in some other sciences and some other backgrounds to study what they could be for. Fortunately, there's so many stories about what they could be or what they are that as we flesh out the hypothesis of others and either disregard or regard them as science and fact, then when we finish, we're actually left with the answer. We're actually left with a complete and simple answer.